Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today is the city overview for December 2024. So let's get started. All right, so a lot's happened since the last city update, so we're just going to jump right in and we're going to get started here. As you guys can see, this front area looks mostly complete and it looks kind of similar to how it was before, but I did go ahead recently and add the tiles into this whole area here. So that's all looking really good. And I did go ahead and add a Christmas tree to the park in front of the museum. And also that tree is removable. So in the future, after the holiday season is done, I can go in and add a fountain or a statue or something like that just to liven up the place and also change it up a little bit. So I think that's a really good idea and I'm really happy with how that turned out. But this front corner over here is pretty much the same because I did finish this recently. The buildings are the same, and those have been here pretty much since the start of the channel. But this front corner here, as well as the edge of green along the train track there, I finished that in a video about a month or two ago at this point. So I will put that video in the top right for you because I'm really happy with how that turned out. And you guys seem to also really like that. So I really appreciate your feedback on it. And then coming through here for the rest of this front section here, I'm really happy with how it's turning out. It's not finalized, obviously, but there is a lot of good stuff going on here. And the train station is in progress. I am awaiting one more order, so hopefully that will be enough to finish the first floor. And then we can start working on the roof of it. So definitely stay tuned for that. Now, coming over here towards the farm area here, there has been some work done over here. I did go ahead and add this fence in and upgrade some of the details in this area here. I would like to get started working on that top section of mountain, but unfortunately, I just don't have the pieces to do it. And so again, in that same order with the train station, I am also awaiting pieces to start that top layer of the mountain. And I'm really happy with how this section turned out. Let me get you guys a little bit of a lower perspective here. Again, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it looks great, and this area is really starting to come together. I do want to add a bunch of different types of trees in this area. I just haven't decided on a design that I like. I do really like the design of trees from the A-frame cabin, but unfortunately, I just don't have enough pieces to make enough trees of those. So I will try my hand at it, but I guess we will see how that goes. So definitely stay tuned for that, and click subscribe if you haven't already. This is your mid-video reminder to do that, so definitely make sure to do that if you haven't already, as well as click the bell notifications so you don't miss any future uploads once they come out. And so now coming over here is the inside of the mountain here, which doesn't get seen all that often, but it is coming along pretty nicely, actually. This tunnel here is coming along pretty good. I do still need to round out this corner here, but you can't see it from most angles when looking from the front of the city. So it's not a huge priority. And I do need to go ahead and level out this section right here. But once this is at the same height as this, then that next layer will be a lot easier to start building. And so coming through over here, this is actually one of my favorite shots of the whole city, is this right here. I think this looks great. I love looking at this section of the mountain and also the farm from this angle. And down this way is that main street that you saw at the beginning of the video here. And this row of buildings has stayed the same pretty much the entire length of the channel. And I'm pretty happy with it. I like how it all turned out here. And the Parisian restaurant and the jazz club are over here as well, along with the bookshop, the Sanctum Sanctorum, as well as an open base plate here. I have a couple of ideas for buildings in this area right here, but I don't want to get ahead of myself and commit to anything yet. But I would love to hear what you guys think. If you guys have any ideas for buildings in this back area, especially along this road right here, drop a comment down below for me and let me know what you think. But I'm extremely happy with how this whole area is turning out here. This train track looks really, really good. It just needs the extra 1x1 tiles on there, which is not a problem. I did order those, and so those are on the way. And so those will hopefully come in soon, and then we can finish the entirety of the train track, which is pretty cool. This area over here used to be a construction site, and now it is just kind of a haphazard section of a couple sets here, just because I recently finished the road over here and also this is going to get mills plated eventually and will hopefully be a really cool building in this corner. So again, stay tuned for that. I am still working out the kinks and the logistics of that, but that is something to come in the near future. And over here is the empty space that I was talking about earlier, as well as the train yard here. All of the trains are like this because actually the Horizon Express doesn't have a home on the layout at the moment. I am still waiting on the expansion table, which we will talk about in just a minute, but the Orient Express has a motor in it and that can actually go around the track. So for the rest of the duration of this video, let's actually get that train going and we can see how it all looks. All right, so the Orient Express is turned on, as you guys can see by the blue light in there, and it is connected to the app. So let's get the train going here. And so I've done a number of videos about it at this point. I did an initial video putting the motor into it, and I did a second video talking about how the logistics of it work with the remote and the app as a whole. And so if that's something that you're interested in, I will put that video in the top right. I go really in depth in it on the app and also a cohesive look at everything. And so if that's something you're interested in, definitely be sure to check that out. But I'm pretty happy with this as a whole. The weight of the coaches is obviously a lot. Let me put the iPad down really quick, but everything here works properly. This bottleneck right here only is occurring because of the switch track right here, as well as the curve happening right after it. That only happens occasionally. It doesn't happen every time the Orient Express goes around the layout, but that is something to keep in mind if you are going to have the Orient Express running around your own city layout here. I just think that shot looks really cool, but that is something to keep in mind if you're going to have the Orient Express in your own layout, to have a switch track and the curve right after it, especially if they are opposing curves. And so coming down this way, a lot has changed in this area. I did recently move this road over 16 studs, so that happened pretty recently, but I'm really happy with how that turned out. I think it looks really good. And so as you guys can see, the Orient Express is coming through here with no problems. And it does take a little bit of extra work for the motor to get through there, but it does work with no problem. And also if you just remove the coaches, that solves the problem entirely. But I did recently work on the hardware store as well as this whole section of road here. I did a couple videos about it at this point over the last couple weeks, and so I'm really happy with how this is turning out here. And I did also mills plate this section right here, and here is the train coming by once more. And we're gonna get a couple more shots of the train going around, so definitely stay tuned for that. That will happen before the end of the video here, but the train is coming around this switch track once more, and it is going through the back of the city now. So we're gonna just follow that along, and then we will meet up with it at the front of the city layout here. And so as you guys can see, it's going through the tunnel right now. It's going over the bridge and past the farm. And I'm really happy with that. I think that looks really, really cool. And so now we're coming over this way to the front corner of the city with the train station. And so the Orient Express is going by once more. We can also disconnect the coaches just to let the Orient Express move a little bit more freely. And so we're just gonna go ahead and put these on this grass section right here. But the Tudor corner is going to go here, I think. Definitely stay tuned for that. I am planning to go to the Lego store on January 1st and to pick that up. So definitely stay tuned for that. That is something to look forward to. And I did receive a comment actually about making a custom 16 by 32 modular building, a half base plate building, to put there as kind of a transition period to also make it cohesive with the Tudor corner itself. And I think that's a great idea. I think that is something that I'm going to at least attempt. So that's not going to happen until that modular building comes in. And so that is on my to-do list of things to do. But this whole area here looks really, really good in my opinion. The tiles are almost done for the sidewalk and the taxi pull-in is done. which I think is great. Buses can also come through here. I don't have a bus, unfortunately, but I think this looks really, really good. And here is another shot of the train going by. But that's it. That's pretty much the entire city as it currently stands for December 2024. This is rounding out the year. I started this channel as well as this city layout back in March, and I started consistently adding to it in about halfway through June. So the last 5.5, 6 months have really just built this, and I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for helping the channel grow and also giving suggestions for the city and liking and commenting and subscribing and sharing all of these awesome videos that I've been making. And also a special thank you to the channel members for directly supporting the channel. I really appreciate every single one of you, for whether that's becoming a member or just simply watching the videos, and whether this is your first video or it's your 100th video that you've seen of mine. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. And a little bit of a sneak peek of things to come is that expansion table that I was talking about. The wood is already in the studio here, and I also have the legs for it. The only thing I'm missing is the curtain for the table. I want to go in and add a little curtain on the front just so you don't see the bins of stuff underneath, because this is a lot of my sorted pieces right here. This has my white pieces, transparent, Technics, reds, blues, greens, browns and tans, grays, blacks, stuff like that. And then there's more stuff over here like Duplos and train track and all that different kind of stuff, as well as a bunch of stuff that needs to still be sorted. Like I said, the system is not done. It is in one of the interim stages, but I am really happy with where it's going. But for the purposes of most of my videos, the purpose is on the table, right? Like, I want to show you guys the train going around the city. I want to show you guys the new thing that I'm building. And so I want to add a curtain or some type of thing that I could staple on or Velcro on or something, just so it kind of masks this and it just directs your eyes up. So that is what I'm waiting for. But once that comes in and once I get that going, the expansion table will go right here. So definitely stay tuned for that. But that is it for me. That is pretty much all I've got to say. So I don't want to take too much more of your guys' time. But seriously, thank you guys for watching. This is going to wrap up today's video. I'm going to let the train go for an extra couple laps around the city, just to kind of show you guys some cool shots of it. But on that note, that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any feedback for me on where the city is at and what you want to see happen in 2025, make sure to drop a comment down below. And once again, seriously, thank you to each and every single one of you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. That's it from me, but enjoy the shots of the train going around, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.